weeks in a row now, and Mr. Goldberg, you know, the man who runs this place, is still yet to show. What kind of coward issues a challenge and then hides from it? I thought for certain he'd like to spend his last few weeks as GM here rather than at home, but it just shows what I've been saying the whole time. Mort Goldberg doesn't care for this brand. Luckily, I do. And so does Coach Wilson, which is why I am so glad that once we get past Sin City Showdown, that he will be the new GM. And on top of that, I get the chance once again to get rid of Foster and prove that we are not equals. He is my inferior. And once again, when I retain my gold and Wilson is in charge, then the alliance is put aside and my boys AD and Lachlan can go and get the tag team titles, and we can solidify ourselves as the alpha team in all of WIW. Forget the industry, forget the Wolfpack, forget all of them. All will seem worthless when justice conquers the red brand. That's right, Skeens, I'm here. You see, I haven't been hiding like you claimed. I have been doing my final preparations and plans. But trust me, when I say you are in for one hell of a time when my chosen star beats you all and I run things with no opposition from you or anyone else. But of course, I haven't forgotten my roles as the GM, which is why I have been booking my shows from home and still putting on the best damn shows. And speaking of booking, you are right that your boys were offered a title match by Mr. Wilson. And although I wasn't sure I was going to enforce it, I think I will. Therefore, you will be having a match for the Tag Team Championships tonight! You foolish old man. You think that is really going to divide us and the linebacks? Even if it did, and it went exactly as you planned tonight, there is no way in hell that the four of us, even if we're fighting, doesn't beat one man. Not even Shane McMahon, the best in the world, could survive those type of odds. I knew you had no idea what you were doing, but this is just funny to think that you actually think there's a version of this where you win, because I'm telling you, there isn't. I will beat Foster and the others will beat whoever you bring to the ring, and you will be forced to watch from home after losing your job as justice continues to conquer WIW. You're right, no man could do that, which is why I don't intend to bring a man to the fight. I intend to bring my creature. But I won't spoil it too much because I can't wait to see the surprise on your face when he arrives at Las Vegas. As for you, Mr. Skeens, take the night off. Enjoy your last night of control, because I promise you that the entire empire that you have built will fall. And it will be at the hands of Mort Goldberg and... Oh! Cheap shot by Skeens to the GM! Well, Skeens putting it all on the line, risking it all. He doesn't care that this is the general manager of his show. He's going to wail away on him here. And you can see the frustrations he clearly got in his head here, and Skeens taking full beat now. Oh, look at this! Foster's here! Mason Foster to his rescue! Trying to get him out the ring, the fist flying in! And sends him over the top rope. Mason Foster, one of the faces of Mayhem, coming to the rescue there of Goldberg. And Goldberg, no surprise, being cautious there, making sure that Skeens stays down. Mason Foster to the rescue, sending him a message heading into pay-per-view. But clearly, he has already believed he's beaten Skeens. Hopefully, Foster can use that to his advantage coming into pay-per-view. But ladies and gentlemen, that's only the start of tonight's huge show. We've got a lot to get through, so let's crack on with the rest of the card. Well, an explosive start, and Brad Skeens better hope that he walks out the winner this weekend, or it's going to be awkward for him. moving forward. Should Goldberg keep his job? Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Darren Jacobs and welcome to the Go Home Show for the Sin City Showdown here on Monday Night Mayhem. I am so sorry for what has been like a 2-week absence. We spent the first week out with severe illness, and the second week we were waiting on some spare parts that still weren't delivered, but the show must go on, and I've kept you guys waiting long enough, so let's get things back underway again, starting off with the hero of wrestling, SDC, who of course is out here tonight to make his second match back on his return to Monday Night Mayhem. Last week teaming up with Mason Foster in the main event to knock off the team of Lachlan and AD Nathaniel. And a big win there, knocking off the Justice Movement on his return. But of course, it was only a couple of weeks ago where SDC lost the match that sent him here to Jaden. He lost the hardcore title in the process, which of course was his first one championship here in WYW. It was a sad time for SDC, but of course SDC, a true fighter, a true trooper, never gives up in typical SDC fashion, and the hero is back here on the brand where he made his name in the first place, the brand where he won in just 9 seconds, and he is back here trying to remake his name here. Excuse me for clearing my throat there. Still not quite at 100%. His opponent tonight, a familiar opponent to SDC, someone else who he really struggled to get the better of last year. It is, of course, the 4-time WYW champion, Aaron Alrbight, making his way down to the ring, one of the stars of Mayhem in Season 1, fallen off a bit since then, but it really has been Aaron Albright's show for a long time. WYW Championship, of course, he had the most reigns, and he had the longest reign for the longest time, until, of course, that changed very drastically. Well, not very drastically, but very suddenly by Brad Skeens, of course, is having one of the longest runs, if not the longest right now, of all time. But the X-Factor, the All-Star, the A-Lister, whatever you wish to call him, he is out here, and he is ready to go tonight. Can he beat SDC here tonight? Well, the bell rings, and away we go. And these two men should be very familiar with each other. If you remember back just a few months ago, towards the end of season number 1, these two faced off on 2 separate occasions for the WYW Championship. Of course, that was Aaron Albright's longest stint with the belt. Unfortunately, SDC could not remove it from him. It took King Sam to take it and to vacate it not too long after that to get it removed from him. Of course, SDC, I believe, was a part of the was not a part of the WYW Championship tournament, as he was chasing his best friend Mason Foster and the European Championship at the time. Beautiful little DDT there by SDC. And SDC has looked promising just in the few short weeks he's been back. He, of course, returned last week and put on a good performance against Justice, who, of course, tonight are facing for the Mayhem Tag Team Championships in tonight's huge main event. Be sure to check that out. SDC, of course, will not be on the main card, but perhaps potentially a match on the pre-show could be scheduled. That is if you guys want a pre-show. If you guys want a pre-show, there's a poll top right of your screen. Press the little icon thing and vote whether or not you want a pre-show. If you want a pre-show, we will have one for you, because we are a company of the people. You guys know that very well. Well, SDC and Aaron Alrbight, two men who have tried to get the better of one another on equal occasions. Unfortunately, SDC has never really got the better of Aaron Alrbight. Of course, Aaron Alrbight has been a top-flight star in this company for quite some time. He's really is a top-tier competitor, but again, yet to really stamp his authority down. Once again, a splash in the corner, following an enziguri, and look at this, he's going to take full advantage, straight into the Dragon Sleeper. Oh, but he let that go really quickly. Hesitation maybe from SDC. He can't afford to do that against Alrbight. Alrbight, a very dangerous fighter, and Albright's going to show him exactly why now. Gets him up, Samoan driver. Beautifully done there, and into the cover with the hook of the leg, and SDC's going to get the shoulder up. And look at that, straight back on the offensive. Northern Lights And this is exactly why you can't give Alrbight any type of room. Alrbight is incredibly dangerous when he's in the ring. And that's exactly how he's ended up winning the title 4 times now. 2 big clotheslines and 1 more to try and keep the man down. He's not staying down for long though, and now has him on the ground. What's he thinking here? Look at this. Camel clutch. Camel clutch, well, we've seen how good of a submissionist he is applying submissions. Can SDC escape the hold here of the camel clutch? Yes, he can. Gets away from the man. And SDC, oh, trying to spin him around now. Couldn't get him. Trying to get the Dragon Sleeper reapplied. Couldn't. And now look at this. Might have been thinking for another Samoan driver. Seems to be favoring the Samoan driver tonight rather than the Brainbuster we're used to seeing. Still has that in his arsenal. Maybe the super kick as well. But no, up on the shoulders again. And Aaron Alrbight planting him down. Alrbight really fighting back. Oh! Look at SDC. Straight back to his feet. But he couldn't capitalize on it. Alrbight just trying to slow down the pace, you feel. Strikes now from SDC. A very good striker in his own right. And there's a sling blade. And you can see him visibly slowing down a bit now. SDC, oh my god! What a super kick! Falls into the cover! And he's got him! A last breath effort by SDC. But it's that one last breath that he needed to get the job done. And he knocks off Aaron Alrbight. Huge victory for the man. SDC needed some big wins coming back to build some momentum for him again. But SDC has done it. A big win over the former champion. It's just a shame that he finally managed to beat him when the title was no longer on the line. But for SDC, he won't care. He needs momentum victories. Being back on Mayhem, and that is a huge one to kick off tonight's show. It's going to be a jam-packed show, but SDC and Aaron Alrbight setting the bar here early tonight. Let's move on down the rest of the card. Well, a fantastic opening contest, but next up tonight, some tag team action. The first of 2 tag team matches we have, of course, tonight. And the first team making their way down to the ring, the team who issued this challenge, which we'll talk about in a second, it is Damas and Black Jesus, otherwise known as the League of Gods. Former Mayhem Tag Team Champions and Fight Night Tag Team Champions, the first team to win both tag team titles of both brands. They've proven to be a fantastic team over their stretch as a team. Now, on to why they're out here tonight. So basically, if you remember last week, we'll get some footage of it up on the screen. Now, if you remember last week, the League of Gods took on the newly founded Industry, and the Industry won, but on very controversial means. There was a triple powerbomb that shouldn't have happened, as, of course, it was not legal for Cashman, I believe it was at the time, to be in the ring. So there was that. Then, of course, at the end, the controversial ending is the roll-up ended in a fast count, and Travis Cottrell ended up taking the win. Well, of course, Damas and Black Jesus, as you can imagine, were not particularly happy, and so they are out here tonight requesting a rematch against the Industry. And Mort Goldberg, of course, in the building, was happy to grant it. So the League of Gods will once again go 2-on-2, should I say, with the newest team in WIW, and of course also the richest team in WIW. It is the Industry, who have made huge splashes over the last couple of weeks on both Mayhem and Fight Night, causing all types of destruction, all types of chaos. They are a dangerous team by every meaning of the word. JW Cashman, former television champion. Travis Cottrell, former television champion. And of course, their newest piece of muscle, I guess it would be for their group, Big Boss, who of course portrayed Bruiser Brad to help join this team and force this alliance. He said himself he wanted to focus more on his business ventures rather than his build. He says he's no traditional big man, and he has proven that over the years. But now this man has sided with these 2 men who have been causing mayhem of their own over here on Mayhem. But now with Big Boss here as well, they are equally as dangerous. It was Big Boss and Travis that stepped into the ring last week. Will that be the same combination this week? But more importantly, will they get the same results as last week? Well, the bell rings, And away we go, and it looks like Travis is going to start this one off, and it looks like Cashman is joining him today. Looks like Big Boss is going to take some time on the sidelines. He is in ring gear, though, which worries me because they attempt this triple powerbomb again. Is this referee going to call it? Oh, my God, what a neck breaker there. Very nicely done by Travis Cottrell. And Damas, of course, very much the leader of this tag team. We're not used to seeing, well, we're used to seeing him start, and we're used to seeing him finish, but usually the in-between goes elsewhere. And look at Damas trying to fight them both off, but that's not to any avail. Look at this. Oh, my God. Oh, and a beautiful powerbomb. Assisted there by Travis, and the Industry get off to a flying start. Oh, Cashman, a cheap slap across the face. You'll notice that the referee from last week is also still here. How he hasn't lost his job, I have no idea, but clearly the GM seeing something in him we don't. Tag in comes Black Jesus, and this might help turn the tide. Nice little shot there to the jaw from both men. Jesus, as we know, very much the powerhouse of this team. One half of the former Mayhem and Fight Night Tag Champions, as we mentioned. A very well-experienced team, and for the Industry to be getting wins over these two is very impressive. Look at this! The strength on display and into a straight jacket torture rack. And, oh, look at this, the elbows to the jaw, just trying to force the break. It was enough in the end. And Cashman, of course, the natural cruiserweight, has gained a little bit of weight in recent times. Maybe just trying to branch away from that cruiserweight bracket, but maybe also just to try and beef up and make sure he provides a bit of extra muscle for the team. Back in comes Travis, and now look at this. Trapping him in the corner here, wailing away the fists. Very nicely done. And now beating down on him in the corner. Cashman and Travis working very well together at the start of this. And oh, look at that. What a slam down by Travis. Slamming him down to perfection. And oh, as soon as he pops up, back to his feet. Oh, God, Boss. Getting a bit handsy there. Boss not really supposed to be getting involved. Oh, he just tossed him into the apron. And the referee hasn't called disqualification. What is this referee doing? This referee has just completely ignored the fact that he just crashed him into the ring apron. Rake in the eyes! Is this referee paying any attention? A rake in the eyes, and the non-legal man is getting involved. Referee, what are you doing? And Travis taking full advantage of every opportunity. The ref's count is rising, and Damas and Jesus need a tag, and Damas was trying to call for it. Couldn't get there. Travis trying to stop them changing men constantly, and look at this, nice little striking combination. Travis now wearing him down in the ring. Once again, the Industry pulling out all the cheats and all the stops to get this victory. And Travis taking full advantage. Oh, look at that. What a drop. And Travis really has improved his technique over the last couple of weeks. We saw last week, again, a eye rake. Really, referee, you're not seeing any of this. Not even a warning. Try to crash him into the corner. Jesus sidesteps and spins it out into a powerbomb. Very nicely done. Well, now what are they going to do? Damas and Jesus are in a bad spot. They need to pull off something. Oh, where did this come from? Where did this come from? Spinning powerbomb. Straight into the cover, but Cashman distracting the referee. But it's into the cover. I don't think it's going to be enough now, because Cashman's distraction did the trick. But Big Boss is stunned on the outside, and so am I, as Black Jesus just powers his way back into this. One huge powerbomb, and just like that, turns the tide. Now flying in with the fists. And that is exactly why he's the powerhouse of this team. The workhorse went for the spinning back fist. Missed. Oh! Low blow! But the referee's not called it! The referee has not called it! What on earth is this referee doing? And now Travis going for a powerbomb of his own and connects straight into the cover. Damas is going to need to make the save, and he does. What is this referee doing? A blatant low blow, and the referee has not called for the bell. This referee, surely, if he isn't fired, yeah, he needs to be fired now. Once again, the referee blatantly ignoring all of the cheating from the Industry. And I have no idea why. Oh, God! Oh! Almost breaking the arm. Oh, no, not again. Damas is down. He can't do anything about this. And the referee, look at this! Ref's just standing there watching this happen. Again, triple powerbomb by the Industry. Damas luckily back to his feet. But is he going to get there in time now? He's calling for a cover, but he's not coming in. The Industry take it. The Industry take the victory. And wow, could you find any more ways to cheat? Unbelievable. Eye rakes, the legal man getting involved, low blows, triple power bombs. They pulled it all off and the referee didn't call for a disqualification, not even a warning. And Travis, Cashman and Big Boss get another victory over the League of Gods. This is unbelievable. How the hell is this still happening? Well, the referee, if you thought your job was safe, I don't think it is anymore. The Industry, regardless of anything else, have walked out the winners, and that's what the history books will show. But some questionable things going on here, and the Industry seem to be at the heart of it all. Let's move on down the rest of the card, but a huge victory again for the Industry. Well, after the show, I'm sure that referee and the GM will be having words again, but it's women's action up next. Now look who is out here looking very confident. It is none other than the Japanese monster Kaiju, who of course, remember, is scheduled to collide with Sandra Piper at pay-per-view in an untitled bout, but that is literally a battle of the monsters. Kaiju has dominated here in Mayhem since she's arrived. The only person she's yet to get a victory over is the women's champion herself, Haley Bowen. Bowen, of course, will be on duty at pay-per-view against Violet as well, defending her championship, so she's not getting the night off. But Kaiju giving her opponent a warm-up here. She believes that she's still worthy of a championship opportunity, Kaiju. She still believes that she is the best woman for the job, and that she believes that she is the best woman on the roster. And she's proven to be a dominant force, but the question is, can she keep that kind of momentum coming into pay-per-view, especially against someone like Sandra Piper, who has been pretty much the pinnacle of women's wrestling here in WIW. She's been so dominant, so impressive, that it's been really hard to keep up with her. And next up tonight, of course, coming into Sin City Showdown for what will be her second championship match in her career, it is none other than the young blood, Violet, making her way down to the ring here tonight. She has been a fantastic wrestler in the last couple of months, especially towards the end of Season 1 and into Season 2. She has been in very impressive form, but she is yet, of course, to get her hands on women's gold, and she'll be looking to do that. She's been a bit of a back and forth, you know, in terms of the way she's aligning. At first, it seems like she's up for a fair fight against Bowen, and she's going to play by the book, and then other times, it seems like she's not interested in the rules, and it seems like she's just more interested in inflicting punishment and taking the cheap shots and cheap ways to get there. Violet sending some mixed messages, but we'll have to see how she does tonight against the Japanese monster. The bell rings, and away we go, and of course Kaiju gonna fly in as always, as she always does. Always very angry, very aggressive, very attacking when she's in the ring, never one to be on the defensive. And she knows that from experience. Of course, Violet has had to deal with her already. Violet has suffered a defeat to Kaiju. The only woman that Kaiju, of course, has not beaten yet is, of course, the women's champion, Haley Bowen, and Sandra Piper. But, of course, that is only because Sandra Piper is yet to come in. Kicks in the corner, maybe already trying to set up for an early super kick barrage. But right now, she's struggling because look at this. What the hell? No, already! Look at this! Sending her to the outside! Superplex! Violet getting folded in half, and that's not what she needs coming into pay-per-view. Oh, God. Oh, no! Piper's here! Piper is here! And I didn't think it'd be long before she got herself involved. But where is she? Oh, she's never in front, is she? Because look at where she is! Oh, my God! Just threw her halfway across the air with the tilt-a-whirl slam! Probably the biggest one I've ever seen. Violet trying to steal the win. And it's a 2 count. What on earth? The referee has no idea. He just turns around and Piper was in there. What a tilt-a-whirl. That was absolutely huge. What a move. Violet managing to crawl back in the ring in time to try and take advantage of it and score the cover. She couldn't, and now trying to stay in the fight right now. To the corner. Kaiju still powering through. To the corner. Big knees though. Kaiju really thrown off guard here by everything that's just occurred. To the corner she goes. And a big fist in the corner as well for good measure. Oh, went to capitalize again. Kaiju managing to shake her off. Kaiju getting her up. Oh, and into the torture rack. Oh, and that might be Violet. Caught off guard again. And Kaiju holds on. Kaiju survives and knocks off the #1 contender. Giving her momentum coming into her match, but not giving Violet much momentum coming into her match. The champ will be watching this with fondness. But Kaiju sent a warning by Piper, and Piper showing off her incredible strength again. Did you see how far she threw Kaiju across the ring? Absolutely emphatic. Well, for Violet, it clearly just weren't her night, and Kaiju just clearly got the better of her. But what an encounter that turned out to be. Violet, right as I thought she was going to get back in it and go for it, I thought she was coming back, but she couldn't manage it. But she's going to have to do better than that coming into pay-per-view. Is this loss going to affect her chances at the Sin City Showdown, or will she be able to bounce back and become the new Women's Champion? And as for the Battle of the Monsters, I've seen them both get the bit upper hand of each other over the last couple of weeks and months. But the question is, who will be able to slay the other monster? We'll have to wait and see at pay-per-view, but it's time to move on down the rest of the card. Next up tonight, before the big main event for the tag team titles, we got a fatal 4-way match for you guys, featuring 4 contestants who, of course, will all be at pay-per-view, battling it out. And the first person, of course, is Rage. As we know, Rage will be a part of a tables match for the European Championship against Sylar Jordan. We saw last week on Mayhem him putting Sylar Jordan through a table, sending him a warning saying, I'm going to put you through this table and I'm going to become the European Champion. Rage, of course, is a former world champion, the first ever world champion. He could be on the path of winning every singles belt on Mayhem for now. Of course, not eligible for the Cruiserweight title, funny enough. He will encounter the champion, though, here tonight, and of course, we'll have a look at that as we go on. But Rage making his appearance here and making himself known. He's made a big impact over the last couple of weeks, and we'll see if that carries over. One of his opponents tonight, someone else who has a huge task ahead of him, coming into pay-per-view, having to deal with the newly crowned Cruiserweight Champion in BJ Kids. It is none other than the former Cruiserweight Champion himself, and the former Road to Glory winner, James Rowley. James Rowley, ready to make himself known here tonight. He's encountered Rage in the past, and funny enough, it hasn't always gone his way, but he has had his victories as well. I believe in the WYW Championship Tournament heading into Insomnia, Rowley got the win over him. But Rowley, the party boy, making his presence known here tonight. Stepping in the ring, of course, get his chance to both show what he can do in maybe the European title division, whilst also getting in a few shots at the man he'll be facing at pay-per-view in BJ Kids. I was thinking it's 2 out of 3 falls, but I can't remember for definite off the top of my head. And he's looking in a good mood tonight. He's looking confident and pointing at Rage as he dances in his face there. Interesting strategy. I'm not sure that's going to be what you're going to want to do later in the night. Try and provoke Rage. That's not always the best suggestion in order to get yourself some victories. Well, the 2 contenders are out here. Time to bring out the 2 champions. And the first champion down to the ring is none other than the man who will be going to his home country to defend his championship for the very first time. It is the European champion, the natural-born thriller, Sylar Jordan. And Sylar Jordan, of course, has already confessed it's going to be a tough ask, putting Rage through a table, but he seems confident. It took him just a few months to rise to the top and grab the European title, taking it away from the longest European champion of all time, Mason Foster. Of course, he's also going to the Sin City Showdown to take on another a home country favourite in Brad Skeens, and he'll be facing off at pay-per-view for the European for the WIW Championship, and most likely the main event of the evening. And this man right here, of course, has his own target in mind, and that is to retain the European Championship. So far, he hasn't had a test for a title defense, so we'll have to see how things go for him here tonight. But the Natural Born Thriller knows he's got one hell of a task ahead of him at pay-per-view, and he wants to get a few extra shots in before we get to pay-per-view, just to help increase his odds coming in to the Sin City Showdown in Las Vegas, Nevada. One more person to bring out here, and of course it is the champ, who, look at this, wearing almost an El Estrella Chico-like mask, not quite El Estrella Chico, it is BJ Kids. Right when we thought that he might have left the mask behind, showing that he still knows who he is, but also showing he doesn't care what you lot think anymore. He only cares about winning, and that's the way I guess he should be thinking. Of course, he has had some rather, you know, not favourable tactics of doing that. Cheap shots, blind attacks, etc, etc. But again, you cannot argue with results. He's finally won the Cruiserweight title, maybe not in the fashion that everyone thought he would have done it, but he did it. And now the Cruiserweight champion, of course, will be coming in for another defense at the Sin City Showdown, as he will be squaring off in that ring. The Starboy will be going one-on-one with Jake Griffiths. Jake Griffiths, of course, a former champ in his own right. We'll have to see if Starboy, BJ Kids, wow, still can't separate the two of them. Let's see if he can get the job done here tonight and give himself some brownie points coming into pay-per-view. And the bell rings, and away we go. And this, of course, just before the main event. Look at that, Rowley getting off to a good start, but Sylar Jordan running right into a military press. Power slam style there, and that almost ended disastrously for him. And now sending to the outside. Looks like Rowley taken to the outside, and that's smart from BJ Kids. You know he favors the outside since he's taken off the mask. Well, since the mask was taken off of him, should I say. Meanwhile, Rage battling it out in the ring with Sylar Jordan, and Jordan's going to now go outside. And look at Jordan here. Sylar Jordan looking for something under the ring, and it's a ladder. And of course, it is a fatal four-way, and since it is traditional fatal four-way rules, no disqualifications. Oh, and he uses the ladder to take down the big man Rage. And now just whacking him with the ladder repeatedly, trying to get in some good shots here. And that's what this match is really about. It's trying to get a head start coming into pay-per-view. And Sylar Jordan has made full advantage of that to start with. Submission hold early here on Rage. And it looks like Rage is going to break it up by himself, but BJ Kids did come in to make the save. There's a cover on the other end. And the other two aren't really paying attention to what Sylar Jordan and Rage are doing. Funny how we're already seeing the matchups. That doesn't surprise me too much, to be honest. BJ Kids rolling out the ring. Jordan was tossed out the ring for a second. Rowley squaring up to the big man, and he's trying to get rid of him, but no! Look at this from behind! Sylar Jordan taking him out with a big German, trying to pick him back up for maybe another one. Instead, Rage says, let me show you how it's done, and drills him down onto the apron, and he rolls away with the ladder. Now Sylar Jordan back on the prowl here on the big man. Meanwhile, BJ Kids trying to re-enter the fray, trying to get himself involved in the European champion. Look at this, air raid siren, neck breaker, and straight into the cover. But look who was right there, right on top of the situation was Rage. And now look at this, trying to plant down the big man Rage, and he does. Sylar Jordan now goes to the corner, maybe lining up for something big here, I don't know. BJ Kids, on the other hand, meanwhile, trying to deal with his number one contender and tosses him to the outside and on top of the ladder as well. And Sylar Jordan, the natural born thriller, playing to the crowd as he tends to do, as he loves to do. And now going after BJ Kids, it looks like. Oh, and into the submission hold. Gone for the submission hold, but it's not on the outside. I know it's no DQ, but it means nothing on the outside. BJ Kidd's able to break it anyway, breaking the hold, but what was Sylar Jordan thinking there? An interesting strategy. They didn't get the job done. Perhaps maybe he knew that. And now striking away at the two champions and the two contenders. James Rowley in a bit of a David and Goliath situation, but he's willing to deal with that situation. Rage watching Jordan come over, but wasn't paying enough attention to how close. Now these two once again striking away. And now look at this from behind. What's he thinking here? Oh, and a big knee to the jaw of his #1 contender. Sylar Jordan just switching between BJ Kids and Rage. Doesn't seem too particularly interested with James Rowley, but Rowley in a little bit of trouble there. Getting choked out by Rage, but he counters it. Looked like he was going from almost to slam him down from behind, but he couldn't get there, and still Rowley unable to really capitalize. Oh, God. No. Oh! Torpedoes him right into that steel ring post. Rage manhandling the much smaller man in James Rowley, and he is down and might be out for the count on the opposite side. Meanwhile, the two champions, the Cruiserweight champion and the European champion, squaring off, and very nicely done. Of course, that could be a match we could potentially see in the future. Of course, remembering a natural Cruiserweight is Sylar Jordan, so there's no particular reason why we couldn't see it. Meanwhile, Boston Crab on the outside. All these men really trying to wear them down on the outside. BJ Kidd's being the wise one to bring this back into the ring. Oh, but it looks like he's changed his targeting, though, and that's why it looks like he's... Oh, no, it was a beautiful little distraction there to throw him off his game. And now Rage. Oh, Rage from behind. He wasn't paying attention there, BJ Kidd. And he might not like what he sees when he turns around as he gets slammed into the ring apron. These four really favoring it here on the outside. Of course, the match does have to be one inside the ring. That is traditional Fatal 4-Way rules. Maybe no DQ, but it doesn't mean that the falls count anywhere. Beautiful little spinning kick there by BJ Kidd. And now look at this. The submission on the outside to Rowley. And again, it's not going to matter because he can't... Look, he taps, but the referee won't count it. What? He's tapped him out on the outside. I guess a bit of insult to injury, I guess, maybe, but it doesn't really benefit him because now he's got to try and do that again inside the ring. And now look at this. Rage inside dealing with the Cruiserweight champion and sends him flying with a huge shoulder tackle. And the champ has taken a beating at his hand into the cover. Jordan noticing out of the corner of his eye and manages to come and make the save. And now going after his #1 contender. Oh my God! Big boot sends him over the ropes. Meanwhile, an already wounded and tapped out Rowley going after the champion of his fight at the pay-per-view. Big, nice little pile driver there almost. And into the cover, trying to capitalize on the work that was done by Rowley, done to Rowley on the outside. Rowley managing to kick out, only just. And now look at this. What's he thinking here? And a cheap shot, a little low blow there. The referee won't mind. It is no DQ. Straight into the cover, trying to get this one. 2 count. Now look at this. Sylar Jordan taunting right in the face of Rage. But Rage isn't even paying any attention. There's a diving headbutt. He's hit. Pele kick to European champion Sylar Jordan. Meanwhile, on the opposite side, oh God! Just using full-blown power moves as a huge power and height and weight advantage is applied. BJ Kidd's trying to get rid of him, trying to get some space away from the big man. And that's not a bad strategy at all. We've seen how dangerous Rage is in hand-to-hand combat and now flying in, showing his own speed off. Look at this. Crashing into the corner now. Oh, and a big hip toss there. And, oh God! Just using his body to throw him down. And now Rowley trying to shake down the man, trying to stop him in his tracks, stop him building momentum. Rowley, think it was asking for help there from Sylar Jordan. Jordan not interested as now Jordan's going to go off the BJ Kidd. Rage is down and he is out of the ring right now. Sling blade by Sylar Jordan. BJ Kidd and Sylar Jordan once again working to... Sylar Jordan and James Rowley working together there. Oh, went for a big kick. Misses. Oh God, and he gets... hit with a kick of his own as he turns around inside the ring. He's already made Rowley tap out once. Can he do it again to get the job done? Oh, nice little striking combination. And these three now in the ring as Rage re-enters. Rage going after Rowley. As Rowley, of course, probably the weakest as he's already tapped out. Probably on the least amount of health. Oh, look at this. Oh, another Pele kick on the opposite side. And now Rowley still trying to get rid of the big man. I don't know why he keeps picking that fight. It's clearly not working in his favor, as you can see. He backs out there, but he gets taken out by Kids, who takes the cheap shot. And now BJ Kids is thinking maybe going top rope. Instead, he's just going to get out of their way. Let him fight. Look at this. Rage and the big man working together. Big knee and a big boot. Oh! Went for a spear, but Kids, the natural cruiserweight, of course, jumping over it. What a match we are seeing here. It still could go any way possible. All four of these men trying to seriously hurt each other. Jordan and Kids, the two champs colliding. Look at this. Oh, what a takedown by Kids. Showing off the cruiserweight instinct. Oh, but gets caught. Gets caught with the submission, but Rowley back in at the perfect time to break it up. Jordan going straight into the cover as well, trying to ignore Rowley, but Rowley not letting it budge. And I thought Rowley might have wanted to let it go longer there. Miscalculation of the kick there by Sylar Jordan, but he doesn't miss that time with the enziguri. And he sees him down, maybe going to go for the cover. Rowley once again to his feet. None of these men want to give in. It may not be for any title, but that doesn't mean anything. These guys, it all is about pride for all of them. Jordan and Rowley both really stunned, really hurt. But BJ Kids feeling even more damage there with the powerbomb. Who is going to get this 1-1? Submission hold again. And of course, it's no disqualifications. The ropes will not help him. BJ Kids not paying attention, but he gets there just in time. And then lands a belly kick on the opposite side to Rage. Rage trying to stay up strong, trying to stand tall. And so is Rowley, but he is taking a beating on the opposite side. And BJ Kids, the Cruiserweight Champion, in trouble. Oh, the choke slam from behind and into the cover. And Sylar Jordan stopped what he was doing to make sure he could come and break it up. Went for the uppercut. Rowley still not backing down. Jordan went for the cover and Rage and Rowley stopped him. They're all just trying to get this one done. Trying to take whatever advantage they can get coming into pay-per-view, but it's not happening. Oh, God. Rowley lifted high in the air. Super kick. And slammed down with a military press. Jordan and Rage, the only ones standing, but the two cruiserweights trying to fight their way back in. The effort is clearly not working too well, but look at this. Rowley now. What's Rowley thinking? 619. Rowley taking out the big man, and now Jordan, look at this. Looking to finish him off as well, as Jordan trying to slam him up and getting an advantage coming into big slam down. Oh, no, he's not done there. One slam was not enough. Rolled through and into a second one. And straight into the cover, and Rowley breaking it up. He caught BJ Kids on the way through there as well. Look at this. Not done there. Now look at this. He's looking for the submission hold on Rage, trying to make him tap, and it couldn't work as it wasn't allowed to be applied for long enough. Once again, trying to just wrap it up. The European champion doing anything he can to get this one done, but everyone just keeps getting in the way. Oh, but look at this. Ducks under for a Pele kick. And now Rage has the champ distracted. Look at this. Rage not paying attention. Kids might steal this. Kids gets it. And look at Rage. He had no idea. BJ Kids steals it with the Pele kick. And he takes advantage of a wounded James Rowley. He didn't do a lot of work on him tonight. It was mainly Rage destroying the little man. But the Cruiserweight Champion is the man who stands tall at the end of the night. What a victory for the Star Boy. And you can see how confident that is. That's giving him a huge momentum booster. Coming into pay-per-view, El Estrella Chico, BJ Kids, whatever he wants to call himself, knows he can beat Rowley now. He's just proven it here tonight, regardless of what help he had elsewhere or during, of course. I don't think it will bother him too much. But the question is, will he be able to repeat that at pay-per-view? And as for Jordan and Rage, neither one of them can get the upper hand here tonight. But they're both going some good shots. Is that going to affect who goes through the table at the Sin City Showdown? I guess we will have to wait and see. But it is time for tonight's huge title match main event. Well, a huge main event for tonight. The two teams that will be working together at pay-per-view in a 4-on-1 elimination handicap match will now be coming together against each other, should I say, for the Tag Team Championships. The Mayhem Tag Team Championships on the line, and the first team down to the ring, the team who lost last week to Mason Foster and SDC, but of course, they did a deal with the linebacks for this championship match, and of course, I didn't think the general manager will uphold it, but the general manager just trying to cause and create some friction from these two teams who have been in a temporary alliance over the last couple of weeks. Just trying to potentially cause some problems between the two teams, trying to cause some tension, and that tension could be the downfall of it all. But Lachlan, AD, Nathaniel, they've got a job to do here tonight, but of course on Sunday, they are fighting for the right to have the other team's manager, Coach Wilson, as the new GM of this brand. This is so clever from Mort Goldberg, trying to throw obstacles in their way, trying to create some tension. But these three men, they look focused. The WIW champion, of course, will be defending against Mason Foster at the Sin City Showdown for the WIW Championship in what is surely to be the main event. But Lachlan, AD, Nathaniel have the job tonight and the chance to become tag team champions. Both men are former hardcore champions, but besides that, no tag team goals for them. They've encountered the linebacks before. It hasn't always gone their way, but they'll be hoping for a different result here tonight. And look at these two coming down very confidently here. This is surprising here. Coach Wilson leading him down with a huge smile on his face as well. Looks like the linebacks are ready for a fight here, but they seem particularly confident. I don't know what it is. They just seem a lot more confident than usual. Maybe feeling as though the linebacks ain't such a threat. Look at this, taunting right in the face of AD Nathaniel there. And maybe the friction between these two teams is already growing. The linebacks already sending the warning signs, saying they're just going to get the job done here tonight. Maybe saying it's not personal, and that's hence maybe not the slow walk that we're used to seeing down to the ring from them. I don't know, but they seem a little different here tonight. But the Mayhem Tag Team Championships are all that matter right now. The titles are on the line here in this huge tag team main event.
AD Nathaniel Lachlan on the way to the ring at a combined weight of 460 pounds. AD Nathaniel and Lachlan. AD Nathaniel Lachlan and their opponents at a combined weight of 505 pounds. They are the World Champions, Kazarian Xander and Patrick Green.
The Tag Team Championships of Mayhem, a title that has had several holders, but of course the linebacks, the most time reigning and the longest reigning. And tonight, regardless of what happens on Sunday, I am sure that they won't want this title to lose from them. Well, here we go. The bell rings, and away we go. Lachlan going to sit this one out for the start, as well as Patrick Green, Xander, and Nathaniel starting this one off. And we're used to Nathaniel starting off the proceedings. Maybe not used to seeing Xander start off. That's an interesting one. That is an interesting situation there. But these two powerhouses going straight for it. And right now, Xander not getting the better of the two. As Nathaniel doing well there. But Xander straight back to his feet and takes him down with a wrestling takedown. And these two, of course, they're very much the respected strong men of the team. Although Xander and Green, that's pretty much, that is a really hard competition to pick between, because they're both clearly powerhouses. Of course, the former NFL prospects. Oh, cheap shot there from Green to give his partner some breathing room. Look at Lachlan, not happy about that in the slightest. Lachlan trying to come in and save his teammate, but the referee says no, stay in your corner, stay in your lane. Lachlan and AD Nathaniel, of course, have encountered Xander and Green before, and like they said, they didn't exactly have the best history with the tag team. These two teams did not get on, and of course this was in the early stages of Lachlan and AD's development, where they were trying to establish themselves as a new team on the block. It was just these two at this time. No Brad Skeens, who of course has helped guide them to the top of the card recently. He's had a couple of main events. Maybe not the tag team title opportunities they were hoping for, but they've really stood out as a team, and I think that's helped them a lot in the long run. Tags made, and in comes Patrick Green for the first time in this contest. And Green and Xander, of course, 3-time Mayhem Tag Team Champions. The most time and longest reigning with the belts. Continuing their 3rd stint with the belt. Wilson, of course, has been a big help in letting them keep the belts and keeping a hold of what they have. Tag made, and in come Lachlan here. Let's see what Lachlan can do. He's gone to the top straight away. Green looking hazy, and he's met with a huge shoulder tackle from the top rope. Well, Xander and Green started off hot, but slowing down a bit here as Lachlan is coming in. Lachlan, the Aussie, is of course a former hardcore champion. He's had a couple of attempts at the European title, never quite got there. Tags made, in comes Patrick Green, and look at this. Oh my god, what is this? Oh, goodness me! Overhead belly to belly off the distraction from Green. Trying to fight their way back in, but Lachlan and AD Nathaniel are off to a flying start in this one. And oh god, look at this. And Wilson has sensed that as well, and Wilson getting himself involved. I was wondering if he was gonna tonight, but I guess he can't afford to let his team lose the tag team titles coming into pay-per-view. Of course, they weren't even supposed to be defending this month. The general manager, of course, was saying that because of this match at pay-per-view, they wouldn't even have to defend at pay-per-view. But the general manager found a good way to get these two, A, to wear each other down, but B, also to potentially cause some conflict between the two teams. To his corner, tag back in comes AD Nathaniel, and once again to the top as he flies in with a crossbody. Lachlan and AD Nathaniel, of course, very much have been working together, have been trusting each other for a long time. Very well-established team now, although they started a lot later than Green and Xander did. Xander and Green coming in as tag teams. AD Nathaniel and Lachlan came in both with the objective to inflict punishment. And of course, that worked out in the short term. Of course, it hasn't led to much title success. A hardcore title each is what they have to show for their efforts. Of course, their newest member in Brad Skeens, the WIW champion, very much with the assistance and aid of that. Well, Xander now coming in off the tag. Two teams with a lot of history. And of course, they were trying to put that history aside in order to get Mort Goldberg fired and Coach Wilson hired as the general manager. Of course, that has still led to some tension between the two teams, but not as much as we'd imagine. To the corner now. Look at this. Green was trying to get himself in there, and he couldn't. Nathaniel backing out of his corner. These two just going corner to corner here, trying to make tags to their respective teammates, but neither one of them willing to budge. Opposite corner again now as Xander sends him. Maybe one trying to look for the blitz, maybe the other trying to go for something else, maybe. Tag is made, and look at this. Oh, and a double clothesline, and a chair coming into play here. Mort Goldberg maybe saying, just throw this one away, lads. Maybe this one's not needed. And remember, of course, if this match ends in count-out or disqualification, Green and Xander will retain the Tag Team Championships. I'm not sure if they're going to resort to those guys, but I wasn't sure they were going to go this far. And because of, like I say, these two have got to work together in a few weeks' time. In a few nights' time, should I say. I didn't think maybe they would want to stoop to this level. Risk ruining their friendship. The referee making sure that chair doesn't come into play. Maybe it was just a decoy by Wilson because he didn't distract the referee in time for him to use it. And now a tag is made, recognized by the referee. In comes Lachlan. And the Aussie man trying to strike with Green. Green, a fantastic striker in his own right. A big shoulder tackle. Taking him down. And now look at this. The strikes flying in from Green. Backs him into the corner. We've seen how dangerous he is from the corner. That running haymaker of his is very lethal. And look at that, trying to slow down Green, but you can't let Green charge at you like that. Too much mass, too much momentum. Oh, look at that! A cheap shot to the back of the head from Nathaniel. And Lachlan capitalized with a clothesline in the corner and followed through with a powerbomb. Wilson once again getting involved, and Wilson might want to be careful about how much he's getting himself involved here. If he gets ejected, that leaves these guys in a very vulnerable situation. We've seen how much they've struggled in the past without Wilson at ringside. The referee will keep an eye on it, I'm sure, but doesn't seem to be eager to get rid of him right now. Green looking for a tag to Xander. but well spotted there by Lachlan, the Aussie man. Aussie Justice, as he used to call himself back in the day. Of course, very vicious fighter. Oh, God, a beautiful DDT. Picture perfect there. Lachlan just trying to wear him down now. Knee to the back of the head. And now Lachlan might be lining up for something big here. He thinks he's found a winning ingredient here. Getting him up. What's he thinking here? Oh! And Xander's own move hit on his tag partner with the Samoan driver. Broken up by Xander, though. And he's tossed over the head with the belly-to-belly. Lachlan and AD Nathaniel trying to play the mind games back. And it almost worked in their favor, almost got on the win. Green now in the corner, looking for the running haymaker, and AD Nathaniel saw the trouble coming. He tried to get in, but the ref said no. And now Green, with nowhere to tag, lands a momentous spear to AD Nathaniel's partner, who's going to try and come in and make the save, and at the count of 2 he does. And all hell's breaking loose now. These two teams have thrown all their friendship, all their alliance out the window in this matchup. Both teams really not respecting one another. They're doing everything they can. Remember, of course, the Mayhem Tag Team Championships are on the line. Both these teams are fully aware of that. Now Lachlan puts him on the ropes, looking maybe for the Justice kick. Of course, one of his most lethal weapons in his arsenal. We'll have to wait and see if he can pull that one out of the bag. Irish whip to the corner. Maybe looking for the Executioner if he can find it. Executioner, as it was formerly known. Of course, now known as the Lethal Injection. Green trying to make the tag, and AD Nathaniel preventing it. Look at this. Oh, just slams him down onto the apron with his pure strength there. And now look at this. From behind, picking him up. Oh, goodness me, what a pile driver. Green and Xander in a very bad situation right now. Lachlan and AD Nathaniel have built up a full head of steam. And AD Nathaniel tiring. You saw that there, visibly tiring. And it's getting hard for him to concentrate and keep momentum going. Green and Xander used to these long-winded tag team situations. When it comes to Lachlan and AD Nathaniel, however, it's usually more of a case of it's either done really quickly or it's not done at all with those two, if you know what I mean. They'll either get the job done very quickly or it doesn't always go their way, and a big splash in the corner again. And he's not done there. One more as well for good measure. And the hyping up of the team, they seem very confident coming into this. And now look at this. Running haymaker, this time from Xander. And that's not something we see often from Xander. Xander straight away picking him up. Oh, but well countered there by AD Nathaniel. Oh, wait a minute, look at this. Mason Foster's out here, and it looks like it's caused the distraction. Look at Skeens. Skeens trying to deal with the situation. Lachlan and AD watching on as they're in control right now. But look at this, Mason Foster fighting with Skeens, and these two just can't keep their hands off each other tonight. Really going at it right before Sin City. Everyone around them trying to break it up, but it's not happening. Oh, wait a minute, look at this. Not paying attention. Straight into the cover of the Blitz. Lachlan got taken out. It must have been during the distraction. And the linebacks retain. Well, it was a tough battle between the two, but in the end, the Blitz does the trick. The distraction from Mason Foster. I wasn't paying attention to what was happening in the ring. Clearly, the distraction must have caused enough of a distraction to allow Lachlan to be taken out and for AD Nathaniel to be hit with the Blitz. But it's done the job. It's done the trick. These two retain, and that's only going to cause tensions, you've got to imagine, between the two teams. But if they keep it together, of course, the GM of Monday Night Mayhem will become Coach Wilson at pay-per-view. But for tonight, Lachlan and AD, at least they can celebrate. They retain the tag team titles. So much on the line, so much anticipation for the Sin City Showdown. So much action to be held, but what's going to go down? Who will control Mayhem? Who will walk out the WYW champion? So many questions, but ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have to wrap it up for here tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. If you did, be sure to leave a like, comment your thoughts and feelings on tonight's show, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.